the first to know in Nsem-Pii TV.
His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, why not the NPP? Would one chiremu ewo Gimpa? There's been an official launch of performance tracker. Now, adi way adia Ghana for dona ebo aban wachi with regards to say bribia no only NDC for dim komo a asem busa ne say edien e na bosia bibriba aban ya bo dia ye dien na aban na ye on fine in essence one single project in this sector no one kire dia waye na ababaye a thorn in the flesh of the NPP. Dr. Bawumia said there said digitalization wo hono mo a edien e na wo say projects aban ya ye chese ekwohye nipa kakra bi ensem na esese omum ne kobo ho dawuro nti wa launch an app ya assign website nso ka ho ya your friend performance tracker. Now it is very very interesting. The aperture ne send Ghana ni bia owo wiase afana ba bia ebetumi a assess every single project ya aban ya ye in 28 ministries, 261 districts, 16 regions. Now, se say ano, uko sa performance tracker platform no so. According to Information Minister Yamame Fatima Abubakar, 13,000 projects were from just 2020 up to date. And abanya ye ediaka the existing projects. 13,000 projects. Each and every one of them are captured on the performance tracker. Now, you may use iPhone, me to be boss and amachichi. You may use iPhone, iOS software. No, but me download the app no your friend performance tracker. So also na Android users, and so be to me a call App Store, and so I could download the performance tracker. Now, I was searching from the website www.performancetracker.gov.gh. Bitimu www.performancetracker.gov.gh. Also call on more. Bibia banya yibia ewo ho. Now, I need to say I want to say a live platform. Live platform chere say apart from the 13,000 projects I was on, and nay, sabano to me complete project in pay automatically na akwa ka ho. Now, ade ba ko esan features ni bi ukrani. Se wo kwabre east. Na se kwabre east no, se mamponten e na wote a. Eno ane se wo performance tracker no so. Na wa select Ashanti from the regions. Now I select Kwabre East from the districts. Now I go town, no I select Mampontin. O select Mampontin we are afe the various ministerial sectors in the ba. E be a road infrastructure, health infrastructure, education infrastructure, sports infrastructure. Sa na yiri nyina dia ba. And to click wo education infrastructure so a adie bia akoso ewo Kwabre East Mampontin to be specific ya efa education hu abanya ye say ye school dying say ye dormitory block say ye assembly block bibi efa education hu bia ebeyi dia ba even enkoda dodo a free senior high school a capture wo mo ne ka aban no abo sa enkoda no ho in that particular time ye Mampontin performance tracker ebeyi dia pi Kodado do a enya scholarship ya esua de wo Ghana ne amano ne performance tracker be yidi aba. Mofra do a tumi enya access through healthcare. National health insurance. Performance tracker be yaba. Enti enya infrastructure nko everything that has to do with the performance of this government. This performance tracker be yaba.
I warmly welcome you all to the official launch of the Government of Ghana Performance Tracker. Over the years, monitoring the progress of government projects has always been a challenge, but the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia-led government took the bold decision to address this challenge by developing a mechanism that is convenient, credible, accessible, regardless of one's location within the country, hence the reason we are gathered here today. We undertook a comprehensive data collection initiative in collaboration with ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as Metropolitan municipal and district assemblies to gather accurate information on government projects across the nation. We have carefully put together this data, removing duplicates and ensuring its accuracy through a collaborative validation process with MMDAs. Through open communication and ongoing collaboration, we have achieved a verified and comprehensive database. The tracker will offer Ghanaians a user-friendly platform to access real-time information on government projects throughout the country. This data is your power. It will be an enabler for accountability and monitoring of projects of government projects towards the national development agenda. The performance tracker is not just an information platform, it is an empowerment tool. As citizens, you are now active participants in our nation's development. You can track progress, identify areas for improvement, and engage government officials in real time. Moreover, the data provided on this website offers invaluable insights. It will guide our resource allocation decisions, ensuring that government resources are directed towards projects that have the greatest impact for all Ghanaians.
There's a question that has been on the minds of many people, and it's a very legitimate question. You hear people in academia asking it, you hear journalists asking it, you hear everyday Ghanaians asking it. What does my government do with my money? Abaino, misikano, edenomdiye. People ask the question, what does government do for me? There are those who say that when you tune on your radio or switch on your television or go on social media, all you seem to consume is negative news. But is that all there is? Or is there something more that people should be shown? These are questions that have been raised and continue to be raised. In the year 2020, the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Bawumia, led in the answering of this question by setting up at the time what we called the performance, the delivery tracker at the time. And it was a platform that allowed us to account for all the projects, mostly the infrastructure projects that this administration had executed. And as many of you will recall, television stations and radio stations then went out into the countryside to try and validate whether or not indeed these infrastructure projects are on the ground. But the question remains, from 2020 till now, what does my government do with my money? A lot of work has gone on, as Professor Piedu mentioned, and that work is what has led us to what we call today the performance tracker, or what some will call the tracker 2.0. The URL will read performancetracker.gov.gh. So what is the performance tracker? The performance tracker is, first of all, a database. It's a database that showcases the performance of the government of Ghana. And it showcases it through the various projects that have been executed across the 261 districts. And this database has two interfaces. One is a website. So you can go onto that website, www.performancetracker.gov.gh, and you can access that database, and shortly I'll take you through that database. The other is an app. Today, the mobile phone is a very powerful tool, sometimes even beyond what your desktop can do. And on the app, on the iOS system, as at now, I'm told the app version has been uploaded, and in the coming weeks, on the Android system, the app version will also be uploaded. So it's a database. You can access it through a URL, performancetracker.gov.gh, or you can download the app and access that database. And what it does is that it showcases the performance of the government of Ghana across the 261 districts, across the 28 ministries, and across the 16 regions. Now, it's an enhanced version of the 2020 tracker that the government put out. And the enhancement is in three features. First, it's more user-friendly than before. It's easier to navigate this particular database. Second, it's gone through a very rigorous validation exercise. And as was mentioned, down through to the district level, town by town, to geotag the projects and to take photos of the project so that you can see it. It's also got, for the first time, metrics Data that you can then analyze and do the necessary comparisons, and we'll take you through it shortly. It is a live platform, and so even as we go on from today, there will be a continuous exercise to update and to validate. The latest data set you will find on it is June 2023. That's the latest data set. There are some of the ministries, departments, and agencies who have data that is a bit earlier than June 2023. But of course, between June 2023 and even this morning, a lot of work is ongoing. And so there will be a continuous exercise to update the performance tracker, and as and when it's updated, which is a live exercise, we are hopeful that all of you who are following will keep an eye on it. As I mentioned, it's first accessible on the URL, and then secondly on the app. Now, you will find in the latest version with the data set cut off as at June 2023 that there are over 13,000 projects across the 261 districts, across the 16 regions, across the 28 ministries or so, that have been validated and updated on this platform. And I want to once again congratulate the team that has been doing this exercise across the country. Over 13,000 projects that have been updated here. And as I mentioned, as we go along, a lot more will be updated on this platform. As was mentioned earlier by the Honorable Minister for Information Designate, the performance tracker is an empowerment tool. It empowers all of us, all of society, so that together we can track our common progress. The general public is asking questions. Those questions are answered on this platform. Development partners want to know, when we give you, budget assistance or specific project financing, what do you use it for? The answers are here. The media is asking questions on a regular basis. The fourth estate of the realm, holding government accountable. What has government done with the resources of the state? The answers are here. Civil society organizations, sometimes across various sectors, are asking questions. The answers are here. And here, on an academic premises like this, you also do know that the academia is always asking questions. The answers are here. The performance tracker has an architecture of about 5 key parts. The information is organized in 5 key, may I say, buckets. And very quickly, I want to take you through it before we launch, and before I invite you to ask for some data yourself and find the data on the platform. Now, these are the 5 major buckets of information that you will find on the performance tracker. First, you'll find thematic areas. As I mentioned, in 2020, the tracker focused mostly on infrastructure projects. We've gone beyond that. And so in 2024, this tracker goes beyond infrastructure and features 22 thematic areas. So you'll find, for example, roads, where you'll find a lot of the infrastructure. You find education, you'll find health, you'll find security, you'll find the 22 major thematic areas that we often query information about when it comes to governance. But we haven't left it just at the thematic level. We've gone a step further. For these 22 thematic areas, various categories. If you go into education, you'll find education infrastructure, you'll find free SHS, you'll find teacher recruitment, you'll find various categories. So first we organize according to thematic areas, and then we also organize according to categories, 105 categories. There are those who also want to find out, how about this ministry? And that's a work that, as was mentioned earlier, from the head of civil service through the chief directors and the directors we have done. How about this particular ministry? What sort of work has gone on in this ministry from about 2017 till now, or 2020 till now, or even beyond now, as we continue to track our progress as a republic, ministry by ministry? And so you'll find that 28 ministries and then the Office of Government Machinery are accounted for. So you can query by ministry and find for yourself what exists there. And some want to see by region. I think the Bono East Regional Minister smiling when, she saw the regions pop up, hoping that she will beat everybody else to what is available here. 16 regions have also been accounted for, and you see the projects listed according to region. And beyond that, the 261 MMDAs also have their projects accounted for here. So DC, you will be checking to see how many projects you have executed in your areas against other DCs. And if you have more projects, you please send it through the validation process, the very rigorous validation process, and when it is validated, it will be updated on the tracker. Very quickly, the thematic areas. So when you go to the thematic look, we just picked road and transport as an example. You will find that there's metrics on the data from roads and transport. You want to see how many kilometers of roads or specific projects, bridges, etc. You'll find metrics on it. You also find the categories. If you want to query by categories, you can find. If you want to see the photos that go along with it, you can find them. Where there are videos and audios, you will find them. Where there are infographics, you will find them. And then where there are articles by independent bodies, organizations that also validate the claims of the government of Ghana, you will find them there. This is just an example of some of the metrics that we pulled up from the roads and transport slide. For example, when you look for road construction works, and you are looking specifically for roads constructed and rehabilitated from 2017 till 2022, you will find that the metrics will tell you 11,974.96 kilometers of roads that have been constructed and rehabilitated in the Republic of Ghana since then. Now, the metrics will do something else for you. The metrics will then compare it to the baseline. So if the baseline, for example, is 2016 or 2008 or a particular year, it will run, the algorithm will run and tell you that the change is about 158% increase compared to the 2009-2016 accumulated window. And it will also tell you the source of this data, the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And on the live website, when we go there, you can now click and go into it and find the project yourself, which backs or validates the metrics as you are finding here. And again, once again, I want to celebrate the team of Ghanaian engineers who have done this algorithm that works for us. If you took, let's say, construction of interchanges, the data will tell you that 12 interchanges between the period 2017 and 2020, those 12 interchanges, 6 of them are completed, 6 of them are still under construction. And it will compare to the baseline of 2016 and tell you that that is 140% increase in the provision of interchanges in the Republic of Ghana, comparing with that baseline. And again, it will give you a link to go there, click, and find those interchanges yourself so that you can validate the data for yourself. Another example, the road network size. The road network size in this country is now about 94,203 kilometers. That is a 20% increase compared to the 2009-2016 accumulated data. And the source is there. You can then click and go find the data. If you went to the category side, it will be grouped under airport, feeder roads, cocoa roads, interchanges, traffic management, railway, and you can click and go for the data therein. The second dimension I want to draw your attention to is the sectoral report. So if you go for the sectoral report, let's say you query for a particular ministry, Ministry of Education, you will see the earlier tabs I mentioned, but you see 2 additional tabs. You will see the executed projects and their details also there. And then you see the summary or the count of the project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the ones that you also see. These are additional layers of information if you query by sector, ministry by ministry. And so, for example, when we say specific projects under education, if you went to the classroom blocks, depending on what you are querying, it will tell you about the 3-unit classroom block at Dompoase, and it will give you the geolocation in the Ashanti region, Adansi North District at Dompoase specific, so that those who want to validate can validate, and it will tell you the percentage completion as at the time this data was keyed in. And if there's an update of the data, for example, when we started the exercise, it was something that was about 45%. As at the June cutoff point, it has moved to, let's say, 67%. You will begin to see that, and then you can track for yourself and find out. I won't bore you with too many details because we'll go into the details later. And as I mentioned, the summary of the count of the data. So depending on the particular district, or if you want it by region, or if you want it on the global level, that's the national level, it will list for you the various data points, and the timestamp will tell you when this data was gathered. And as we continue to update, you will see the data points also update themselves. The third category I want to speak to is the regional and district report. I know many of you are excited about that one. It will also show you the tabs, but it will show you district level data. So you see district level data beginning to pop up, and you can query your district and find out the kind of projects that are in your district. So for example, we took a screenshot of Western North region, and it will list the districts for you, and then you can go into a particular district and